Malta is an island, and we're in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, so we're surrounded by water, gorgeous beaches and sun nearly all year round, to be honest. We rarely have rain, unfortunately, because the farmers are struggling to grow crops, and as well we have drought and risk of wildfire potentially, although we don't have large, massive land with trees on it. So we are exposed to certain vulnerabilities, just like any other country, and obviously there are countries who are experiencing it at a greater scale. Now, with regards to resilience and our ability to mitigate these risks, I think it is lacking. There are certain faults in even, simply electricity in the electric systems. Kind of in summer when it's extremely hot, everyone's putting on their ACs, and that sort of blocks the electric grid. Kind of, it reaches its capacity. Then you end up with many people without electricity, sometimes the whole island. And obviously people struggling with trying to keep themselves cool and things like that. Restaurants and shops who have frozen goods having to throw them out, sort of thing, So there's a lot of economic loss as well, sort of thing, and frustration for sure. People not knowing where they're going to sleep, sleeping on their roofs because it's cooler outside. So this in fact happened last summer, and even the summer before, but last summer was very pronounced. And God knows what's going to happen this coming summer. Hopefully it would have improved. I try to keep myself in the loop of, recent events, because it's very easy to get in kind of into the trap of thinking of everything negative, like, okay, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. This is happening wrong, that is happening wrong. When it could be that, something is being done about it, or there has been some changes. In summer, basically anything that people will be talking about, it's related to the heat and how hot it is and how frustrated they are, how kind of like, oh, I can't wait for winter to come, sort of thing. But it could also go a bit more deeper than that. Maybe that's just like our consciousness exhibiting itself, but maybe there's deeper roots in our semi-conscious and our unconscious kind of, it's going to get worse in the future, for example. There's going to be a huge drought. There's going to be a cataclysmic event in Malta and around the world, sort of thing, It's very easy to resort to the unhealthy coping mechanisms. I see it with myself. So I'm the first one to speak about it, sort of thing. Well, I see this a lot in a lot of people, techno-salvation. So technology is going to help us. Technology is going to save us. Yes, technology, let's keep it coming, sort of thing, when, it's stripping us from our agency and our responsibility, but more so our agency. People who do technology, who invent technology, it's in their hands, it's not in my hands. And obviously sometimes I feel like a hypocrite studying such the mental health effects of ecological crisis and the ecological crisis per se, sort of thing, and how different ways on how we can empower people when I myself don't feel empowered. Usually we talk about, the economic effects of climate change, for example, biodiversity effects, which is fair enough, but never the mental health effects of climate change. As if I were a child, I would not know how to deal with and process those messages without, feeling a sense of anxiety and an alarmist mentality towards, global and local events. And obviously this can be sort of translated into the concept of resilience, which we mentioned earlier, which is what can be applied to other areas of life, not only environmental issues at the end of the day, So it's trying to find ways of engaging people, as many people as possible, finding the barriers that disengage people and sort of breaking them. So this as well obviously requires lots of research into public perceptions, etc. There is a sense of urgency in the situation. So we kind of just, conduct research. Oh, this sounds interesting, so let me do it, sort of thing, or kind of like this is a hot potato. The effects of climate change and the mental health effects of climate change are different according to the region. Although there are some fundamental human universals, if you can put it that way, which can be then studied and possibly applied to more local and communal contexts.